Hey, old man, give me everything.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So today's Tuesday. Hope you're having an awesome start to your week so far. I'm actually enjoying my day today. It has absolutely nothing to do with crypto. It's actually a beautiful, sunny, warm day in New York. The snow has melted. I can open the windows, so I don't care. That's fresh air, warm weather. I'll take it today, guys. So, and honestly, there's nothing going on in the market. Let's be real. It's very boring right now. Yes, there are some coins that are pumping. We'll talk about them, but for the most part, this is what we're looking at right here. As you can see, volume is just slowly declining and declining and declining, and we're just moving down and down and down. So usually when volume tends to get super low and we sort of condense and coil up, we tend to have a breakout or a breakdown. I don't really know particularly which way we'll be going this time, guys. Either way, we've kind of been expecting this, so, I mean, we could talk about that moving forward, but let's see what's happening in the markets today. We have a $113 billion market cap with a 53.5% Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin sitting at $3,465, XRP almost 30 cents, and Ethereum $107. Now, having a look at the biggest gainers of the day, we have our good old friend Bitcoin with two eyes. I think that's like the coin that was like Pablo Escobar's brother's coin they came out with, like Diet Bitcoin or something like that. I could be confusing it with something else, but surprisingly, it has a decent amount of volume, but I'd be careful with coins like that, guys. We also have Aurora, Metaverse, PunDX, Theta, HoloChain, Decentraland, Ravane, Walton, Monero, Dash, and Linky, all doing quite well as well. But, you know, guys, I do have to point out, the BitTorrent token is still pumping. It's been going up quite steady. I think at this point we're at about a 10x for ICO, and if you bought around here, I think it's like a 4x or something. I don't know, I haven't really done the math, but either way, guys, it's doing really well right now. So if you're involved in that, congratulations. Now let's talk about what some are saying, okay? So let's see what these guys are talking about. Well, you have the well-recognized cryptocurrency trader, Crypto Dog. He says that the market has reached the final phase of the bear market, but it could still potentially drop lower. So the trader said that he would not be surprised by an $1,800 Bitcoin and a $50 Ethereum, which basically would be half of what we're looking at right now. Now, I'm not trying to create any FUD or anything like this. We're just looking at it. I mean, realistically, I don't know if we are going to go this low, but he does say that $1,800 Bitcoin and 50 ETH wouldn't surprise me. I don't know for any certainty we'll see those prices, nor do I mind if we reach them or not. I think if you're in Bitcoin for the long haul, dollar cost average. If you're learning to trade, just basically survive, keep your risks low. Gains will be a lot easier someday. Obviously, it's a lot easier to make gains in a bull run, right, than it is in a bear market. So some traders have also talked about the possibility of Bitcoin dropping as low as $1,200, which would basically retrace it to the height of 2013. I personally don't think that's going to happen. It could. If it does, I'm basically selling the house at this point and going all in. Not financial advice. Don't do what I do. I'm very irrational sometimes when it comes to these markets. I get so excited. But, you know, in consideration of both technical and fundamental factors, an additional 65% drop after having suffered an 83% drop, it's not really that likely, guys. Also, we had CEO of Pantera Capital, Dan Moorhead. Now, you know, the first billion-dollar hedge fund in crypto that he started. If you don't know who he is, they were very big on Icon and a lot of other things. He says the fundamentals of the crypto sector have significantly improved over the past few years. Potential catalysts such as the possibility of institutional investors entering the cryptocurrency markets in the latter half of 2019 through trusted custodians like Fidelity and Bakkt may prevent the bears from pulling Bitcoin down to 2013, 2014 levels. He said people have been talking about years on the impending institutional wave of money coming into the market, and I think we now actually have the required conditions for that to happen. Institutional investors really want to have a custodian that's well known and regulated, and we really haven't had a global name that it would take to get institutions really invested in it yet. Also, traders like Mark Dow, don't forget now, he's the guy that shorted Bitcoin literally at the top all the way down to, I think he pulled out around 3,300. I think that was it. He says that only when Bitcoin breaks out of the key resistant level above 6,000 can a trend reversal be confirmed. Now, in order for that to happen, we have to go back up to this level right here. So that's quite a journey, guys, to get back up to that point. So, is it going to be happening tomorrow? Probably not. But if you're new, this is great time for accumulation. And if you've been in the game for a while, then you're probably not that surprised by what's going on right now. One bit of good news, though, it's not all negative, guys. We have Bitcoin Lightning Network reaching $2 million capacity. So that's just chugging along in the background. We can't ignore that. Now, I want to start off on kind of a fun story today, because yesterday's video was very doom and gloom, and I don't want it to just be like, oh, negative, crash and burn, right? I thought this was pretty cool. So we obviously just had the Super Bowl. People are thinking about football. They got it on their minds. We have NFL star Richard Sherman from the Seahawks. He's basically talking about his experience with cryptos, right? So an article on CNBC recently highlighted interest in cryptocurrencies from Richard Sherman. It says one of the highest paid cornerbacks in NFL, Sherman has a hands-on approach to money. In fact, he negotiated his own 4-year contract with the Seahawks. So it says that he invested in several cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum, and he also is a spokesperson for Robinhood, which he also invested in as well. He suggests that he was very active in the past year in the crypto sector, even though the prices of a lot of the stuff has dropped. He also noted that he once had to stop his grandma from investing in Bitcoin when it was $1,900. Nice save, nice save. He also said that he expects the crypto markets to turn bullish again. I think we all do eventually. It also goes on to say that he's been in the crypto business for a while, not just for the last year. He actually was selling Bitcoin merchandise on his website back in 2014, and about a year ago, he said that the meteoric rise, which took Bitcoin to 1,900, made it the talk of the locker room. He said that athletes were becoming more educated about cryptos and the financial markets in general. This is because in many cases, these players have been taken advantage of by their financial advisors. So, I mean, this is just a fun story. I wanted to bring it to you guys. But, like I said, now that people, the Super Bowl just happened, there's just more eyes on cryptos, and he definitely had positive things to say about it. So that was cool. Also, check out the Fintech 50. So, this is where they go in. It says the most innovative fintech companies of 2019. And you can see right here, it's a pretty large list, but look, they have some crypto and blockchain guys in here. So some people that made the list, you have Bitfury. You also have Circle and Coinbase as well. Gemini. Ripple, of course, Ripple made it. And yeah, so there you guys go. Now, talking about this, the Forbes report says that the 6 blockchain companies that it lists will undoubtedly form some unusual alliances as they evolve past competing against other blockchain startups to competing in mainstream finance against long-established players. So Ripple is currently backed by some of the best-known names in venture capital, including Andreessen Horowitz, CME Ventures, Google Ventures, Santander Ventures, which might explain why Santander was the first major bank to join RippleNet, their global payments network, and of course the SBI Group, which we just spoke about. And this is how they described Ripple. They said it's a blockchain-based global settlements network aims to replace SWIFT, the interbank messaging platform that has long connected nearly every bank in the world. Ripple has also launched a service that lets companies make cross-border payments in XRP, the cryptocurrency created by its founders, which was recently second to Bitcoin in value. Actually, it still is second to Bitcoin in value. But moving on, talking about Ripple super quick. I usually don't talk about coins this early, but this was kind of cool. So Ripple just unlocked a staggering amount of XRP from one of its escrow wallets, sending the funds to a separate unknown wallet. The transfer of 1 billion XRP is worth around $302 million. The transaction cost less than a penny and completed in a matter of seconds. As you guys know, Ripple holds a lot of their own supply, estimated around 60%, with much of it locked in escrow. The company regularly sells portions of its stash to institutions, crypto exchanges, and other interested parties. So the transaction is similar to others that they've used before, but this was the cool thing. It had a unique twist. Now, if you look right here, inside the transaction, they left a memo that says crawl, walk, run, wink face. So that's kind of cool. They're basically saying, like, you got to start somewhere, right? So moving on to some news of the day, I want to talk about Facebook yet again. Like them, hate them, really doesn't matter, guys. Let's just talk about what they're doing. It says that they are growing their blockchain efforts by hiring staffers from Chainspace, the startup behind a smart contract platform. The news of the hires, first reported by Cheddar, demonstrates that the social media company is moving ahead with its blockchain ambitions, which were first revealed last May with the announcement of a new dedicated blockchain unit. In fact, they set the entire group up to deal with this blockchain growth with David Marcus. Now, he was the former PayPal president, and he's currently the head of this blockchain enterprise group. So that's just something that I wanted to point out before we move on. Now, according to their website, what is Chainspace? Well, it says that they use sharding. Where have we heard this before? Zilliqa recently, right? So this is interesting. This could create some competition with sharding, right? And sharding, as we know, is the process of breaking database, information into smaller units to alleviate the scaling problems faced by blockchain networks. I actually did a review on Zilliqa a while ago, and in that video, we actually talk about sharding. So if you really want to learn more about that, you can just check that out. Maybe I'll drop it above or something like that. So 4 out of 5 researchers behind the academic paper on which Chainspace is being based will be joining Facebook. A spokesperson from Facebook also confirmed that the startup itself or its technology wasn't acquired, but that some of its staff had joined Facebook's internal blockchain group. They said in the statement that this new small team is exploring many different applications. However, we don't have anything further to share at the moment. The social media giant is currently hiring for 11 blockchain roles, according to Facebook's career site. Facebook's blockchain team operates as a startup within Facebook, adding that our ultimate goal is to help billions of people with access to things that they don't have now. That could be things like healthcare, equitable finance services, or new ways to save or share information. So while I'm not the biggest fan of Facebook, particularly, I don't really like their practices. I don't like what they do with your data. They basically spy on you, and yeah, you know the deal. But hey, you know, this could potentially just be more validation of the blockchain space moving forward. Now, also, you can see right here on Chainspace's website, it says, we're excited to announce that the team is moving on to something new. Chainspace code and documentation will still be open source, and all previously published academic work remains available. So obviously, they're teasing, you know, at this sign up. Now, it's interesting to just point out before we move on that Chainspace's white paper explained that the team wanted to build a distributed ledger platform for high integrity and transparent processing of transactions within a decentralized system. So this essentially means that they want to make transactions way faster and more functional in terms of a payment system. So could Facebook be looking to integrate payments? You know, that, or, you know, something crypto related. It could be a Facebook coin. Oh, you know, speculation, right? Now, I don't know if this is because of them becoming partnered with Chainspace, but there's a crypto called Space Chain that's up 10% this morning, and I don't know if it's because people are thinking that that's Chainspace or if it's a complete coincidence, but either way, I think it's really funny, and I just wanted to point that out. Also, let's talk about what's going on with Coinbase. So now they announced support for PayPal withdrawals for customers in Europe. So obviously they announced December 14th of last year that it was available for US customers, and you can make free instant USD withdrawals to your PayPal account. Now this is a lot better than paying the 1.49% fee that you normally have to pay when sending money to your bank account. So I just wanted to say congratulations to everybody in Europe. According to the blog post, Coinbase is expanding the support for PayPal withdrawals to customers in Europe Free Trade Association countries, which include Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway, and Switzerland. That's good news, guys. That's good news. Who wants to pay those 1.5% fees anyway, right? Also, speaking about, you know, Facebook coin, right? Well, CZ comes out again making comments about Amazon. So he confirmed that he still believes that Amazon cannot avoid issuing its own altcoin. Discussing the internet business and sector more broadly, CZ said that it was not so much a question of if as it was a matter of when Amazon will issue its own coin. Now, does Amazon need its own coin? I mean, I think Amazon does quite well, but let's see. He goes on to say that, you know, Amazon has made efforts to adopt forms of blockchain technology in the past, but its relationship with cryptocurrency remains tied to rumors, right? Such rumors periodically appear in the press, including those that Amazon could integrate Bitcoin as a payment method. But for any internet, non-physical business, that is, he says, I don't understand why anyone would not accept crypto for payments. It's easier, faster, and cheaper to integrate than traditional payment gateways, less paperwork, and reaches more diverse demographics and geography. He also wrote on Twitter saying Amazon will have to issue a cryptocurrency sooner or later. We'll see. I mean, I don't doubt that, like, eventually they will have their own cryptocurrency. I just don't think it's going to be tomorrow. You know, I think that, you know, because you're seeing a lot of these guys integrate almost like loyalty points and reward type things. And if they have their own stable coin within their own ecosystem, it's essentially just like a centralized, you know, token you can move around. It's possible. It's definitely possible, guys. Now, also, this is something that came to light. A lot of people were wondering, did this have to do with this? I mean, literally, if you go back here. Now, some people were blaming this on the Bitcoin Cash debacle that was going on. People were freaking out, losing faith in the market. That, you know, very well could be the case. But some people were also thinking that this could have to do with still Mt. Gox. I mean, can you believe we're still freaking talking about this crap? Well, here we go. The trustee of the rehabilitation proceedings for Mt. Gox reportedly sold large amounts of Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash on trading platform BitPoint, and this was reported to Cointelegraph Japan. And this was due to leaked data, apparently. So, an unidentified party reportedly sourced information from the legal proceedings involving Mt. Gox at the Tokyo District Court and showed it to Mt. Gox creditor campaign group GoxDocs.com. The information, which appears to be incomplete scans of transactions at BitPoint, allegedly confirms that the Mt. Gox trustee, Kobayashi, sold coins on a major exchange to repay creditors. So unless BitPoint is being really generous, we'd wager that reasons that they are depositing billions into the bank account of the trustee is because they were hired to sell the Mt. Gox estate, Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, etc., right? So the process of compensating users clearly has not been fun. It's been very lengthy, and there's been a lot of controversy. We know that. I can only imagine what it was like to be in that hack, although I gotta be honest with what's going on with this Quadriga stuff, with all this Coin Capital and everything, that's pretty crazy stuff too, guys. So, you know, we could be seeing Mt. Gox 2.0. I hope that's not the case. But anyway, getting back to this story, you know, it talks about throughout late 2017 and the first half of 2018, suspected sell-offs from Kobayashi were rumored to be manipulating Bitcoin's price due to the size. Obviously, you're going to have massive slippage if you're selling something like that not over the counter, you know, clearly. So discussing the phenomenon of what is referred to as the dumpening, well-known cryptocurrency figures noted that Kobayashi or an associate may have openly sought to use mainstream sales and channels from the start. So obviously, we have our friend Jesse Powell from Kraken said that his platform had received a request about methods of large-scale selling, something that GoxDocs now also references. However, Powell noted that Kraken's suggestions for selling coins in an auction or with an OTC broker were, in fact, not acted upon. So the total amount involved from the leaked documents is around $318.5 million. And last week, more revelations from the compensation process showed that one Mt. Gox creditor, CoinLab, had made a claim of funds worth $16 billion. And in fact, we can bring up these documents going all the way back to 2013, and you can see, I don't know if you could see it, it was signed by Mark Capellis right here, and this is the agreement that they had with CoinLab. So yeah, I don't understand why they're not using OTC. I'm not quite this whole process, to me, I really don't know why this is still happening. I don't understand how this has not been sorted out, but yeah, this is still going on, and it's things like this that are still making people very wary about entering crypto. You know, you have situations like this, you have situations like Quadriga Exchange, and yeah, so that's basically that, guys. Do I think it's something that we need to worry about? It could be, but I think at this point, if Bitcoin takes any more major instant hits, like massive hits due to some kind of a sell-off, I think it's just going to rebound right back up, personally. I think you're just going to see a sharp V, but, you know, we'll see what happens moving forward. Now, we also have to talk about what's been going on with Kraken. So they have basically now officially acquired regulated futures trading startup Crypto Facilities in an undisclosed deal valued at least $100 million, which is pretty crazy. Now, that kind of, to me, signals that this space is not dead. When you're seeing guys acquiring things, I mean, even, you know, people say what they want with Tron, acquiring something like BitTorrent, right? And then you have these guys acquiring Crypto Facilities for at least 100 million, that to me says there's definitely interest in growing this space. So this was announced on Monday, and this is the largest that we've seen in 2019. So this is going to enable Kraken customers to trade spot as well as open positions, offering exposures to the future price movements of crypto. So Jesse Powell framed the merger as one that would massively accelerate his company's roadmap, enabling the startup to sidestep years of efforts to obtain their licenses and approvals necessary to offer a competing service in Europe. So they kind of just like skipped right ahead, right? And this is really good. So let's talk about crypto facilities. Well, they were founded in 2014 and they're registered with the UK Financial Conduct Authority, or the FCA, and the deal was approved by the regulator. So the firm will remain as an independent entity within the large Kraken group, okay? And all 25 crypto facility employees will continue to work with the company. Powell also added that the objective we have is to build the most liquid futures exchange. Now, I do want to note that this is not currently available for U.S. citizens. So if you're from the U.S. and you want to just skip right ahead, but you know, that being said, it's a good day for everyone over in Europe today, right? You got your Coinbase, PayPal withdrawals, and now you have this, right? So, the reason that they also talk about this, speaking on his aspiration that he'd like to continue the strategy, avoiding taking on additional venture capital, he said, the reason to not do more VC is that we really don't need the money, and longer term, it makes sense for the business to be majority owned by the users. This is pretty cool. We'd eventually like to have our interest aligned with the users. So this is speaking on, how they're doing this. So in addition to exchanges like Kraken, the thing is they were talking about Binance, right? And how Binance has been able to do all this stuff. But the thing is that Binance, don't forget, they moved their businesses to places that are very crypto friendly. Whereas, these guys are US based, so they do have to deal with it. So they're saying that, now that they're dealing with the regulation, they consider themselves more competitors with guys like Bitstamp and Coinbase, and things like that. So just wanted to bring that to you guys. It's pretty big. I mean, it's just showing you that guys are out there. They're buying, they're acquiring, they're building, they're moving forward. I'm not seeing any signs of stopping from any of these projects. So, everyone's saying crypto's dead, the space, this and that. No, guys, we just had a ridiculous run up in 2017. We had a crash, and now we're returning to the norm, right? So also speaking on, Philippines, now they are pretty crypto friendly. In fact, I went there for the Block Nation demo, and you could tell that they're definitely a very crypto-friendly place. So they basically have a new set of guidelines that was formulated and approved by the CEZA to sanitize the space, as they put it, and protect consumers against fraud, according to a report that came out from Vietnam News. So this is called the Digital Asset Token Offering Regulation, and basically it's designed to just sort of like help, individuals and help regulate things like securities and utility tokens. So commenting on the matter, you had the administrator and CEO Raul Ambino of the CEZA reiterated that the primary objective of the legislation is to encourage innovation while also protecting the interest of the investors by making it compulsory for market participants to operate in strict compliance with laws. So obviously they're taking it seriously, and going forward, all ICOs are going to have proper white papers, state clearly, etc., etc. You guys can read the rest of this article, but it's just proving more validity to the space moving forward. Also, just wanted to throw this out there. You have Google partnering with blockchain-based company. I've never pronounced this. Is it TYMLEZ Group or I don't know. Anyway, so this is it says that this group has been awarded a partnership status by search engine giant Google. The official partnership is centered on Google Cloud Technology Partner Program. With this partnership, TYMLEZ, I'm sure someone's going to correct me that I'm saying this wrong, will be able to list it on its blockchain platform on the Google Cloud Platform Marketplace. So that is good news as well, guys. Trying to keep this moving forward. Oh, God, there's so much news. I know these videos go so long. Okay, so here's another thing. So people are saying, could the SEC potentially be getting ready for the ETF? Well, this is why. So it says, with institutional money set to flood and, basically resurrect this market, the US SEC will obviously demand accountability and a manipulation-free sphere. We had Jay Clayton, the chair of SEC, saying it's an issue, referring to manipulation, that needs to be addressed before I would be comfortable. We've seen some thefts around digital assets that make you scratch your head. We care that the assets underlying the ETF has good custody and that they're not going to disappear. So on February 3rd, the commission published a solicitation notice, right? And in the request, the SEC says potential businesses ought to provide blockchain data to support the SEC's effort to monitor risk, improve compliance, and inform commission policy with respect to digital assets. The SEC is seeking information for potential sources to support the goal of acquiring data for the most widely used blockchain ledgers, including the universe of available information and transaction details. Coincidentally, this solicitation notice comes at a time when the Office of Compliance Inspections and Examinations, or the OCIE, of the US SEC have made cryptocurrencies a top agenda in their examination process. In a report, the OCIE said it will push on with their mandate, complementing and advising the SEC in their effort to protect the American people. So, identifying cryptocurrencies' rapid rise and potential risk to retail investors, it says they will continue to monitor the offer and sale, trading, and management of digital assets, and where the products are securities examined for regulatory compliance. So I guess the question is, do you think that these compliances are in preparation of a Bitcoin ETF? Some people are speculating that they are. That's why I'm bringing this up. I know it was boring. No one really cares, right? Who cares about an ETF? But they're speculating that they could be setting up to accept the ETF. So I'm curious, what do you think? Do you think that that they're getting ready for the ETF? Do you not? Do you not care? As most people don't. Let me know what you think about that. And hilariously, before we get out, I just love to end on stories like this. Bloomberg recently created a list called Financial Scams in the Past Decade. The list mentioned world top bank names. They talk about money laundering and the prevention of it in big business. They say around 2 to 5% of the world GDP, roughly $2 trillion, is laundered globally every year, according to estimates from the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. But here's the most interesting part. No, the report doesn't talk about Bitcoin. It doesn't talk about Ethereum. It doesn't talk about litecoin or anything like that. In fact, it mentions JP Morgan Chase, Citigroup, ING, HSBC, Commerce Bank, Deutsche Bank, Standard Chartered, Commonwealth Bank of Australia, and others. Interesting. The majority of the laundering is being done by the banks, guys, not the cryptos. Is anyone out there surprised? Is this story getting a little bit old? I definitely think it is. So the recent report tracking the circulation of money within the Bitcoin economy from 2013 to 2016 concluded that less than 1% of Bitcoin transactions stemmed from coins of illicit origin. In comparison, it's estimated between 2% and 5% of the global GDP is US dollars being laundered. Also, guys, that's it for today. I just wanted to say, tonight I will be doing a live stream. I don't think I'm doing it on my channel. I'm pretty sure this is just on CryptoCandor's channel, and this is going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So, do your conversions, and basically you could just stop by, ask anything you want. It's kind of like a free-for-all. We're just doing like an Ask Me Anything, hanging out, having fun. If you guys want, stop by. If you don't know what's going on, definitely you can follow CryptoCandor on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at the Crypto Zombie, and I'll definitely tweet it when we're going live so you guys won't miss it. Or, oh wait, it's not on my channel. I was going to say turn on the bell notification. You should turn on the bell notification anyway. But that being said, guys, that's it. Hopefully you guys can come out and hang out tonight. Yeah, if you guys, obviously if you haven't got your hands on a ledger, you could definitely use the affiliate links below. Helps the channel, doesn't cost you anything extra. Also, blockchain brief newsletter. This issue is out as well, guys. If you're interested, links are below. Also, we have a Pivx swag bag. If you want, you could scan this code right above my head here. Check out the website and you could win. That being said, guys, my name's K-Dub. You guys freaking rock. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto and peace out.